Hey friends, today I'm coming on to make some more Christmas tags, and I also have these really long strips that I think would work well for tags or even a bookmark. And this one I already started to lay some pieces. I had some ideas about making these larger ones a journaling tag. So you could put it in your December daily or your notebook, and you can add a picture or journaling on here. So I kind of had started that idea. I've got my hot glue gun on. I've got some scissors. I've got my ad tech. I have a bunch of flowers, some bought, some gifted, and some that I created, some lace or any kind of trim that you want to use. I also pulled out these felt stickers because I want to try to use these up this year. And then I pulled my bin of miscellaneous out as well. And then I have a couple of my peppermint die cuts in ephemera from Sprinkled with Cheer. This is the phrase ephemera. And these puffy words, and then I also have the actual ephemera from the collection. So I have all this near me on my desk to pull and use. So this one I added a heart eyelet. The eyelet kind of got a little crooked and I just left it. And these are double-sided. As you can see, this got off to the side and wasn't quite square in the center, so I'll probably maybe add a little reinforcer and cover that up. But I did make these tags all double-sided, and they are all using my scraps. So all the little tiny pieces of scraps that I had, trying to use up all of that before I finish with this year's Christmas crafting. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this one, I added some lace down. And then I just had this scrap rectangle of this off-white, and I had a little scrap of gold, and I kind of used it off to the side like washi tape. And I want to add something to this. So I have these puffy stickers. I think I have 3 of these mugs left from Hobby Lobby, and I really want to use these 3 up. And let's see, maybe not adding the gold one. Let's maybe add a peppermint and maybe the sticker. And I could decorate these very lightly, and I don't think I'm going to add a lot of dimension to them if they're going to go in a journal. And then maybe we'll do a little flower cluster. So let's do, this one has some darker pinks. So we could do a little flower cluster like in this corner. But then everything is on this side of the page. So then let's see if we do our cluster here. And I'm kind of liking it with just the flowers. But then I also like it with this. I really want to use these stickers up. So let's start by adding the peppermint down. And I'm going to let it hang off the side just a bit. We'll add that down. And then we have our little puffy sticker. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this, but I'm going to be super careful because sometimes these puffy stickers melt when you add glue to them. And then let's add our little, this would be a really good tag if you were having hot chocolate. And let's see, I'm going to add a little bit more. It doesn't seem like it wants to stick very well. They're very old stickers. And just hold that for a second. And if it doesn't want to stay, then I can always add some staples or something in it as well. I got this really long glue string that is attaching itself to me. There we go. All right, and then I already have this sentiment pulled out. All is bright. So I think I am going to grab my tiny attacher, because since these tags aren't very layered, I want to add some texture where I can. So then let's add the all is bright. And let's just staple that down. And then, is this staying? Yeah, I think that one's going to stay. Now, do we want to add the flowers up here? I kind of like the flowers up there, so let's go ahead and add them. And I'm going to leave the centers and everything just like they are. And sometimes I take these Dollar Tree flowers here and I layer a couple of them together and make a chunkier flower. But since I wanted to keep this tag semi-flat, then I'm not going to do that for this time. Okay. All right, so I think this tag is done. And the other thing is I chose not to stitch these tags. So the last scrap tags I made, I did stitch them. But not everybody has a sewing machine, so I thought for these tags I would not stitch them, but you can if you have a sewing machine. All right, I think this one's done. Let me grab, I've got this little scrap of lace, and let's see, let's add that as our ribbon. And I think I'm going to leave the ends long because I like the scallop detail in this lace. So we have this, and then this side you could put your photo, or you could bring in another piece of paper and put your photo here and do your journaling here. But I'm going to leave it just like this for now. And I forgot to mention my tags are 3x4 in size, and these are 1.5 by about 6.5. And they were just some scraps from when I was creating some planner pages, and I had some scraps. So I did back these with 2 of the sheets of planner pages and then layer it so it was a more sturdy tag. All right, so let's set this one aside and let's decorate one of these. I'm thinking maybe the cute gingerbread one. And maybe we can add in, we could bring in one of the gingerbread trees or a gingerbread house for this one. And if you're going to use this for a bookmark, you could just leave it like this and then maybe add like a sentiment on here. You could add like, you know, busy reading or something like that. But if you want to add it as a tag, you could layer it up however you like. So I'm just playing around, seeing if I want to add one of my flowers to it, next to it, but I'm not liking that. I think I'm going to go for the house instead of the tree. And let's see, I have some ruffled paper, and I also have some fabric ruffle. Let's add the fabric ruffle. And this is a weird fabric ruffle because it ended up, when I ripped the fabric, it ended up being wide on one end and not on the other. So let's add the fabric ruffle. And I'm just going to add the glue directly down on my tag here. And then we're going to add our house. And this is already a sticker. But if you did not want it to be a sticker, you could just add some cornstarch to the back, or even you could try leaving the sticker backing on here. But since it's not going to hang off of the house, I am going to peel the sticker paper off and then add a little bit of extra adhesive down. And then we're going to center this, and then we're going to fix our little roof here that's come undone. I added a little too much glue. And I'm going to grab my pokey tool. And I'm so sad, all of my beads fell off the other day. Just out of the blue, I grabbed my pokey tool and all of the beads were gone. And I'm not sure if like it got caught in my little pencil caddy and like yanked on the beads or what. So I need to glue this back together. Let's clean up a little bit of the glue there. Kind of liking how this is looking. And I'm wondering if I kind of want to keep it simple and maybe add some snowflakes. These are pretty big. I think I might have some smaller snowflakes. Oh, I have these and I have these. I think it might be cute to add some snowflakes up here. I also have a couple of the puffy ones left over. So I'm kind of wondering if it would be cute to just add maybe some snowflakes. I do have the stamped sentiment, but that's just a little too big for that. So we could add like, yeah, I don't like those. But we could add maybe a couple of these. And then bring in a couple of the puffy ones. Let's do that. And then this is a pretty simple tag here. I'm going to add a little extra glue on these. Oh, now this one's down pretty well, but I'm going to sneak, yeah, there we go. I'm going to sneak a little extra glue on these. And I definitely need to on these puffy ones because they are barely sticky. All right, and let's do, now it might stick to this one. No, there we go. All right, cute. I really wish my Dollar General had more of these crystal snowflakes because I absolutely love them. All right, so we have the little snowflakes down, and I was thinking about maybe adding a sentiment, but I'm kind of leaning towards leaving the tag just as it is. It's super pretty, really simple. Got to use up one of those felt stickers, so I'm going to leave this tag as is. So I think these two turned out super cute. I'm going to decorate the rest of these off camera and have a little bit of me time here in my craft room. Thanks so much, guys, for stopping by and checking out another Christmas tag video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!